introduction. I'm very new at this. I suppose first off I have quite a few people I need to thank here, because should any of you ladies like what you see tonight, decide you want to purchase anything, I will be the beneficiary. So I need to thank, I guess first, my daughter who got me involved in this, Brooke. Next, I need to thank Jeannie, who opened up her home to us so we could have this event. Thank you very much. Diana, well, Jeannie's a friend of hers, and Diana is one of my first customers who buys from me, and she uses the product, and several people here, I believe are the people who mentioned to her, Diana, what are you doing? Jeannie, was that you?
Yes.
And Jeannie was so impressed, that's why she wanted to have a party here so she could share this with all of you folks. Anybody individually here I need to thank other than those three? I think not. Oh, excuse me. Melanie, who drove all the way from Baton Rouge to come and do the presentation. Melanie's been doing this for years, and she's the real pro, and that's why I called y'all in to get this started, so she can get back to her newborn baby who's 1 year old tomorrow. Right back to Baton Rouge. Well, not quite newborn, her.
Still itty bitty.
Still.
I'll stop by for the party. I'm driving through.
You're welcome.
And then I'd like to thank all of you for coming to this event. How did I get involved in it? Let me grab this. I need to grab this. I had back surgery about last October. I really needed it. I've been putting it off for many, many years. And I was headed to I was practically in a wheelchair, and I finally put aside all those fears that people my age have heard all through the years of being worse off after back surgery than before. So I put it off and put it off. Finally, last October, I had it. And ladies, if any of you are having those problems, don't put it off. They've got science down now where the next day I was up and walking. I feel no pain, and it's been a true blessing in my life. But getting my balance back is still, so I have to hold on to things quite a lot. It's about a 9 to 12 month process for that to completely take hold. While maybe 6 months ago, no, maybe not long, but how long ago, Brooke? 4 months ago? 4 months ago, Brooke is worried about her father. For some reason, I can't fully understand. She loves him. She's worried about me sitting in a rocking chair, like a lot of people, not lasting very long. So she decided to get me involved in this. I'm a typical man. I have abused my skin and my face and my whole body most of my life. I mean, airborne ranger, and then outdoorsman, hauled her and her siblings all over the rest, mountain climbing. I mentioned to some of y'all a little while ago that my ideal man, Sam Elliott, and so they are just mentally looking man, and that's what I want to look like. I want to have a rugged looking face. So doing this was a challenge for Brooke to get me to do it. But surprisingly, after just a short while of using it, suddenly I'm watching TV at night, and I'm not having to peel off the dead skin on top of my head and all that. The stuff works. So I am involved in this. That's how I got involved. The stuff really works. And I hope that some of you will see the value in it. But that's entirely up to you. There's no hard sell here. And with that, Melanie, you take over, and I turn over to Brooke.
For a little bit.
And thank you again for coming, all of us.
Yeah, thank you. Right, this is one of the biggest groups I've presented for. I'm impressed about your ability to gather people together, Dad. So,
I'm sorry, say that again. I missed it.
Anyway, I got involved about a year ago. I've used the products for a while and loved the products. And one day, I tell people that I used to have to walk out of the house. I would not walk out of the house before I shellacked my face. I just wouldn't do it. And so before I had put all of that stuff on, Sarah Helen, who's filming, walked into my bathroom, and she said, "Ew, what are those spots on your face?"
didn't say ew.
She did. She said something about the sun damage. Because if you're my age or older, we used to.
You're not her favorite child.
Tan it. We'd sit out. Look at me, I'm fair. But I used to lay out in the sun and tan, and so I had some sun damage on my face. So at that point, I called up my Rodan Fields girl and said, "I know you got something to fix this," but my husband was not happy because now I was using more products. And so honestly, I decided to start because I wanted the wholesale discount, and I enough people to like pay for my own products. A month after I started, Hurricane Harvey happened, and I lived in Houston, and we suffered catastrophic loss, second time in our lives. And I'm a school teacher, but I was out of a job because we decided to pick up and abandon Houston. I don't have the love for Houston that I have for this place. We spent 10 years here after Katrina, but we failed on Houston right away. So I didn't have a job, and we landed in Charlotte, North Carolina, where teachers make $17,000 less than I was making in Houston. And I decided that I would rather pour my heart, soul, and energy into this wonderful company and the products that I believe in and know work. And that's what I've been doing for the past year. And I've been lucky enough to have partners like Melanie to help me along the way. And I love it. So I'm going to turn it over to Melanie now.
Thank you, Brooke.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all caught that or if you knew Brooke's story, but I met Brooke through this business, and when we found out, she was introduced to this business through a dentist in New Orleans, in the New Orleans area. And when we found out about Brooke losing everything in Hurricane Katrina, and then losing everything in in the flood in Houston, my heart just crashed. I thought, who loses that twice in a lifetime? And this woman really knows how to pick up and inspire other people and move on, and she's doing it through this business. So that touches my heart so much. And since I'm from New Orleans, I really know that anything can happen at any time in life. So when I picked up my background, I'll tell you real quick, I was as this woman here, I was a TV news anchor at WWL for until the end of my career, but before that I was at WDSU. I was born and raised in Marrero, right in the backyard. I used to go to ballet from Reginald Denny in Terrytown, so I was here every Friday night as a kid in Terrytown. Mm-hmm. This is my home, so it always touches my heart to come back to my hometown. But when I was anchoring at WWL, I got a call from Erin Spears, who is Britney Spears' mom, and she says, Melanie, you have to look at this business. I think you would be interested in what these doctors are doing. This is Katie Rodan, and this is the Dr. Katie Rodan and Dr. Kathy Fields. These are the doctors who created Proactive. Has anyone ever heard of Proactive? Mm-hmm. Has anyone not heard of Proactive? So I had acne struggling as a kid, and I used Proactive. So I believed in what these doctors were doing. They're two of the most respected dermatologists in the world. And she had my attention because she said these doctors. She thought I'd be interested in starting a business. Well, she didn't know. My dad, who lives in Marrero, who still is working, he was like the type of dad, when they would send you home with raffle tickets from school, he would just buy them all. We were not asking anybody to buy anything. That's the kind of family I came from. You just do your business. You don't you don't sell anything, and selling with that. So when she called me about this business opportunity, I said, I am not going to sell anything. I don't want like Tupperware parties. I don't like candle parties, jewelry parties, because what happens is I end up going to support a friend and buying things that I don't need, and then just to support a friend, which is nice, but I didn't want to do that to other people. But I knew that I had skin, and I didn't love my skin. I was always buying skin products anyway. None of those products had a full money-back guarantee. This had a full money-back guarantee. I had seen dermatologists all my life. So I thought, okay, I'm definitely going to use the products. I will use anything you have for acne. I'm going to use it. Anti-aging. I've used eye cream since I was 20 because I knew how important preventative skincare was. So I'm all into that. Well, then I met other people who explained to me the lucrative opportunity that this was, and why it does not feel like a sales job. So this isn't what I do on a normal basis, but given the situation and the people that gathered around, I thought, let me go and speak to these people about Rodan Fields. And I do that when people will gather around and ask me to come and on my team. And within 10 months, I will tell you of running this business, which just was around my own schedule, kind of here and there, talking to people, just like you recommend where you got your shoes from, or where's the best Mexican restaurant in town. We all recommend, right? Mm-hmm. And everything, especially in New Orleans, I heard somebody talk about R&Os earlier, everything is word of mouth. So let me ask you guys, growing up in New Orleans, when a big franchisee comes in and sets up a business, are you more inclined to go there or to the local business owner, like down the street, right? Like, we stick to our people. And so the fact is that there's nothing more powerful than word of mouth from someone you know and trust, as opposed to what you see on the commercials, right? So when I saw these two ladies the first time do you all remember when they were on infomercials with Proactive? When I saw those infomercials, I did suffer with acne. I saw a dermatologist. I never bought Proactive because who would trust skincare off of TV, is what I thought at the time. Then, do you guys know the Golden Girls at LSU, the dance team, the Golden Girls? So when I went to LSU, I was a Golden Girl, and I remember the Golden Girl next to me in the kick line, long blonde hair, beautiful skin. And I said, your skin is so pretty. And she says, I swear by Proactive. She says, I use Proactive. Guess what I did?
You got proactive.
After all those years of seeing the commercials and not buying it, it just took one moment of somebody I knew and trusted.
Truthfully, did Adam Levine had nothing to do with
Nothing at the time. No, I'm not that young. Later on, he became a spokesperson. Actually, Brittany was asked to be a spokesperson but she didn't want to be known for acne, so she said no. So that's why when these doctors came around with this company and said, okay, we're not just doing acne, we're going to do anti-aging. We're going to do dark spots and sun damage. We're going to do sensitive skin. We're going to do everything. And Lynn found out about it. She's like, I'm not missing this choo-choo train. I know what this is going to be. You know, I know what these doctors do. But anyway, after 10 months of owning this business, I actually matched the salary at Channel 4 that had taken me more than a decade to build with residual income. Now, residual income is something that I feel like in this community especially, we don't know a lot about or don't aspire to do. When I went to anchor the news in California, this is Palm Springs, California. I feel like New Orleans is a hard-working town. You know, everybody I know, most people that grew up in New Orleans are hardworking. Their parents are hardworking, their grandparents are hardworking, their kids are hardworking, and they work hard for their living. And that's how I was raised. And I went to Palm Springs, California to anchor the news, and it's one of the wealthiest areas in the country. I mean, everything is beautiful. Everybody has their third and fourth homes over there. And I said, what? These people are not even working. They're on the golf course every day. What am I missing? They all owned businesses that created passive income for their family. And I was trained, like the book says, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Have you ever heard of that from Oprah? Oprah is, she would tell you what's a good book. That's where I found out about that book. But I was trained, if you want to create a good living for your family, you trade your time for money. You have to show up and punch a clock, or you have a salary, but you show up to get paid, and you have to show up every day. Now, I show up with this business. This is showing up for me. This is considered business for me, which is kind of cool because I get to come and meet people in my hometown and drink some wine. But the difference is that it creates a passive income. And so that's what I'm able to pass on to my children. If I ever get out of this business, I've created it for my family. I have business in Canada and Australia and all over the United States just because a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. And I'm going to tell you how that happened and why this came to be by letting the doctors tell their story. Because I'm a journalist, this spoke a lot to me. There was a story featured on MSNBC just recently in the past month about these doctors and they were interviewed. So I'm going to let them tell you their story because they can tell you better than me themselves. Remember this?
Is an easy, quick three-step system which combines powerful acne-fighting medicines with elegant skincare formulations.
The two legendary dermatologists behind those memorable infomercials have revolutionized the world of skincare. Not once, but twice. And it all began with this.
Okay, so I typed this up on a typewriter. It still hangs in my house, and I love it, and it reminds me every day of where we started. And it says, Katie Rodan and Kathy Fields are 50-50 partners in a company for the development of an acne product and line. Both parties have 50% of the rights to buy and own formulas. Both parties execute all documents. Both parties share equally in the profits and expenses. Here's the real kicker. All expenses over $50 must be approved by both parties prior to incurring expense. So that tells you where we started. I had two little kids and I remember thinking, we can't spend $60. I need to buy diapers. Correct. I need diapers this month. So that's where it all began.
And that has lasted 30 years. The spirit of that document has lasted 30 years.
30 years for sure. We shared a lot of work together, which would be residency at Stanford and our training and a shared vision. We love dermatology. We still practice, by the way. And with that, we want to take the best of what we're doing in our office and make that available to everyone.
After the success of Proactive, the duo started a new skincare line called Rodan Fields. Soon after launching, Estee Lauder came knocking and they sold the company. A decision they regretted almost immediately.
You guys took a big risk when you sold Rodan Fields to Estee Lauder and then you bought it back.
We did. The problem was we had a very big vision to help people, and we weren't getting there at all. We were trapped behind the glass counter completely. We just weren't their highest priority, and we're never going to get anywhere. So the courage to buy it back wasn't difficult. The courage to start again with all the risk completely on our shoulders. Everything we had earned from Proactive, we poured into the new venture, Rodan Fields.
And not even really understanding fully how we're going to sell this product. And it's timing too. That was really critical because right at that moment in time, we saw the decline of department stores. I mean, you could literally roll a bowling ball through the counter area of a department store and not hit anyone. No one was going in there to shop. We just knew that there had to be another method. With Proactive, we were selling through infomercials, very disruptive means of distribution. So we had to figure out another way where we could speak directly to the customers.
After buying back the brand, the relaunch of the company started with an enormous thud.
When you launched Rodan Fields, you rented out a big ballroom and you expected lots of press and lots of people to come, and 6 people showed up.
That's
How do you deal with disappointments like that?
oh, that was devastating.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that's when it's really good to have a partner because you can cry on each other's shoulders.
So bad.
Here we were launching Rodan Fields, and you know, we had created Proactive, which is the best-selling acne product of all time. And we thought, we're going to get the word out there. We're starting a business, so let's think big. Let's rent out a ballroom. And I remember looking out behind the curtain and seeing 6 people in the audience, one of whom was like my aunt. Oh my God, so devastating. And I remember turning to both Kathy and my husband and saying, do you think we're going to make it? And I remember my husband saying, you know, I don't know, but we got to keep trying.
That effort paid off. From 7 employees in 2008 to more than 700 employees now, plus more than 200,000 consultants that sell the product. Rodan Fields is now the #1 skincare brand in North America.
A lot of people would say lightning can't strike twice, and yet for you guys it has. Why?
Products are king. It really works. What we do transforms skin, and do the right thing. If we are working with a product and it's just we don't launch it. Our bar, our personal bar, is so high that we will succeed. And everything around us, our culture that we've built here, runs on that same engine.
I think we have a real advantage compared to lots of other skincare companies because we are dermatologists and we're product developers. We've been doing this for a lot of years and we know how to make products that really work. And I think when you start from that vantage point and put your products and your customers at the forefront of your business, you will be able to figure out how to get those products in the hands of those customers.
And I'll tell you, well, let me ask you real quick. Did you guys, the first person to answer gets a prize, did you guys pick up on the retailer that used to own Rodan Fields? Yeah, you got it. I'm going to give it to you. So, one thing that intrigued me, this is a little mini facial. So this is 3 of our most popular products. It's a night mask, a lip serum, and a night serum. Yeah, you're welcome. So, yeah. You know, that spoke to me because when I was in a presentation just like this about 4 years ago. And Lynn got me there and she said, I did not want to go, okay? And I had a baby at the time. I had my little son. And I was gonna cancel out. I was gonna flake out. And she texted me and she's like, come early to have a glass of wine. I'm like, great, now I gotta go. I had to get a babysitter and I showed up. Yep, and I showed up And I was so glad I did because it changed my life, what I heard in that room. And it was a room just like this, and it was a woman who was speaking. She came in from Denver, Colorado, and what she said really intrigued me, that Estee Lauder used to own Rodan Fields. How many of you have bought something from Estee Lauder before? Okay, so I thought, well, wow, they used to be big. Why would they go from Estee Lauder owning them to buying the business back and trying to run it through word of mouth business? And it makes perfect sense. I was thinking, as a journalist, let me do my research on this. They must not have done that well. Guess what? I was exactly wrong. It was opposite of that. Estee Lauder owned the business, and it went to it was the number one selling clinical brand, as you heard, in high-end department stores. But how many of you have shopped at Nordstrom ever? One person, two people, three people? We don't even have a Nordstrom in New Orleans.
Okay.
Right, and you have to go somewhere else. So what they realized is they're not reaching enough people. They were number one, but they weren't reaching as many people as they wanted to reach. And they didn't have the freedom to create all the products they wanted to create because they were owned by Estee Lauder. That's why they bought it back. And I thought, wow, these ladies are brilliant. How many of you shopped online this year for Christmas or Hanukkah?
Every day.
You guys, I did, yeah. Like,
Today's
I didn't
Amazon
want-
Prime.
Look, I used to go to Oakwood Mall, Lakeside Mall for my Christmas shopping, and I don't even want anything to do with it anymore because it's miserable to me.
Yeah, today's
I know,
Amazon
right.
Prime Day.
Yeah.
I gotta
It was
get.
like-
I have to
right.
get back home before the packages arrive, and my husband
Yeah,
buys
and
them.
these ladies knew that. Look at what happened to Macy's this year. Look at what happened to Toys R Us. I know that we are creatures of habit in New Orleans because that's how my family. I have 4 generations of family here, and we're creatures of habit. We like to see things, look things, go to things. But the truth is, everything is moving towards online. They still practice dermatology in San Francisco, but they knew they could prohibit people from having to go into the doctor's office, make an appointment, buy products that may or may not work that they don't get refunded on. Our products are fully refundable. They're guaranteed to work. So when I realized more about that, and I knew Estee Lauder owned the products, then I saw the people who were starting these businesses. They were attorneys, they were doctors, anything, teachers, stay-at-home moms, but I was thinking they weren't people who had time to spare. They were busy people. They were people who were already successful, or maybe not. Maybe they were looking for something else. But it wasn't like people were just sitting around saying, let me find something to do with my time. And that intrigued me. I'm like, why is she doing this? She's already got it made in life. Why is she doing this? It's because these people saw an opportunity. So that's why I did it. Since then, we have now become the #1 premium skincare brand in the United States, in North America actually, in addition to in the drugstores. You go into a drugstore and you see a product, and this was actually pitched to Neutrogena. Our doctors pitched Proactive to Neutrogena. They said no. Proactive became the leading acne treatment worldwide, and Neutrogena they knew they shot themselves in the foot. Because our former CEO used to work for Neutrogena, so that's how I know the whole story. It's pretty funny. But anyway, so we are #1. We're also the fastest growing in Canada, and they basically became the type of people who wanted to empower entrepreneurs. Guess what? If you buy from Estee Lauder, guess who makes most of the profit?
Estee Lauder.
Estee Lauder. And so they felt like they did a study, and the people who were buying from Estee Lauder were not buying because Estee Lauder was advertising the product. It was because of word of mouth, just like that golden girl who stood next to me. And they said, why not empower and reward the people who are spreading the news for the product? Diana, for instance. Diana uses the product, and when Miss Jeannie saw her results, she said, what are you doing? I want to know. Why not reward Diana or give her the opportunity? That's what they felt. Why give it to Estee Lauder? Estee Lauder would make more than 50% of the profit. Give it to the people who are spreading the word of mouth, right? That's what they're doing. So they're empowering people to own their own businesses. So this is me. So that was, like I said, I struggled with acne. It wasn't cystic, but I always felt like I needed makeup. I would never walk out of the house without liquid foundation. This was after a week and a half on the products, and it did lighten and brighten my skin. This was foundation free 7 months later, which I never thought I would ever go anywhere without foundation. I always hid behind foundation. That's our goal, to get your skin to the point where you don't need foundation.
Oh, and that's me too. I told y'all I used to shellac my face. I don't have any foundation, no cover up, no concealer on. This is my skin.
How many of you don't believe us that you would ever walk out of the house without liquid foundation? Be honest.
I was raised, you don't go check the mail.
You don't go check it down without foundation.
That's
Wait, so everybody else would leave their house without foundation?
No.
Okay, raise your hand if you would not. Be honest. Okay, that's fair. That's how I felt. I was like, there's no way. I'm glad this is a good skincare product, but I will still never leave my house without makeup on, without foundation on. And I don't have foundation on right now. I do have a powder on that we make that is not makeup. It's a treatment. It does provide a coverage. And so I do wear that, but I can sleep in it, I can work out in it. The makeup I was wearing before that is actually really bad for your skin, which most foundations, not all, are. So these doctors are not only changing skin, but changing lives with this opportunity. And because of all of us in here, someone is going to benefit. Maybe all of us will benefit from the presentation that we're doing today, whether it is to change your skin to the point where you feel better. Because if you don't feel good about yourself when you walk out of the house, you're timid and shy when you're in a group, right? And you feel like you don't look your best, you don't act your best, you're not living your best. And it's almost like, I'm going to say, because I'm from here, I feel like in a way it's almost admirable because you put everybody else before yourself when you're from here, right? You put your kids first, and you should. I mean, you put your spouse first, and you self-sacrifice all the time. But you know how on the airplanes they say you have to you have to give yourself oxygen before you give your kids oxygen, because if not, you'll die.
You're looking at me.
Yeah,
Oh, the flight
give your
attendant,
kids
yeah.
oxygen. Oh, you're a flight attendant?
Yeah.
Okay, I probably messed that all up then, right?
No, you got it right.
But if you look better and feel better about yourself, and if you're running a business that's profitable and creating passive income for yourself, you're able to give more to the people you love, to your family, to your kids, to your spouse, to your friends. And that's what these women are all about. So Dr. Rodan, when I saw her, I just came back from France with my husband, and we went to, this is all exclusive and such an inspiring trip with the doctors. And I grabbed Dr. Rodan and I said, you have no idea how much you've changed my life. And she grabs me and she says, how? Please tell me. And we're at this private fashion show. They had rented this private hangar in Cannes, France. And Christy Brinkley was on the runway. And that kind of stuff is cool, but that's not what inspires me. What inspires me is the fact that she said to me, please tell me how. There was a line of people waiting to talk to this woman. I mean, everybody loves these doctors. And she said, please tell me how. I want to know. And I said, I'll start to cry. I will write you a letter. I can't, because I hadn't seen her. I went to Thailand a few years ago with the doctors and met them there and became friends with them. But I don't have her cell phone number, so I'm not kept in touch with her. And she says, tell me how. I want to know. That's what we're here for. You know, and that, to me, meant everything. They're extremely philanthropic. They did not have to create this company. Proactive had them made for life. Their goal is to change lives. But what makes us different is multi-med therapy. So how many of you have what you would call maybe a product graveyard where you buy products? It's claiming to change your skin. Maybe it was discounted. Maybe you're oh, this is a good deal. I can afford this. I want to change my skin. I'm going to buy it. Maybe it's eye creams. Maybe it's skin creams. It's saying your wrinkles are going to go away. It's saying at 2 in the morning that it's from a plant in South Africa that no one else has, and it's going to make you look 20 years old. You know what I'm talking about? How many of you have a product graveyard in your drawer of nothing that's ever actually changed your skin?
I have a whole drawer full of Lancome products because I use their mascara and I only buy when they give free stuff away, but I've never used the free stuff.
I did that too.
I have a whole
Yes.
drawer full.
So that's why I expect for you to come to this and think, oh, here we go
Etsy,
again.
I get that.
Because it don't do anything.
You know,
You sell it?
something else
No,
that's
I
not
get
gonna
Etsy
actually
every
work.
month.
But how many of those products said we will give you a full money back guarantee? If it doesn't work, we'll refund you your money completely. Nothing that I've ever used or bought said that.
I just want to make sure y'all understand. You can use the entire product, return the empty containers within 60 days, and get your money back.
Mm-hmm. And we have a less than 1% return rate.
That's why we could do it, because it works.
Because it works.
And you're going to love it.
So what makes us different is called multi-med therapy. Now you may be using a product from your dermatologist or from the drugstore that's one little cream that says it's going to change your skin, but we don't know what you're using to wash your face with or what you're using for moisturizer. And those ingredients may not interact well with each other, which may be causing a detriment to the effectiveness of what the ingredients are supposed to do in the first place. So what they discovered with Proactive was you had to prepare your skin One step prepares your skin for the next step, prepares your skin for the next step. And they all work together. Your wash prepares your skin for your toner, which prepares your skin for your treatment. They all work together. So that's why we do a regimen. Our regimens range in price from about $140 to about $180. That's a 2-month supply, and it's 4 products. When you break that down, it's $2 to $3 a day that you're spending on your skin. Now, I don't spend any money on makeup, on foundation anymore. I used to go to MAC. I spent a lot of money on MAC. I would rather take care of my skin than spend the money on foundation. Okay, so that's what
you do have a foundation.
I do not have a foundation on at all. I have the powder. Will show you.
I have it.
It's
I
a
will
powder,
show you.
but it's not makeup. It's a treatment. It is tinted, so it'll provide a little coverage as a powder, right? And then we have 3 different shades. I use actually all 3 shades because I contour and I do the light here and here under my eyes, and then I'll do the dark here, and then I'll do a medium.
I don't even have that on.
Yeah, it's kind of like Bare Minerals. I used to use Bare Minerals, and the difference I found is that with Bare Minerals, they say you can only use a little bit or it looks bad. It looks like too much, right? I cake myself in this. I really bathe in it. And I use it, I'll reapply. But we also have a kabuki brush that you can put the makeup in, the powder in during the day, and then close it, and then you can take it out and freshen up during the day with that. But to me, that's a major. And it's loaded with mineral peptides, and it has SPF 20. So that's what I have on, not makeup. But the pimples, the acne that I had before would never have been covered up by that. So I had to get my skin I had to clean the slate to be able to do that, right? But so it's multi-med therapy, the right ingredients and the right formulation in the right order. And here's an example of someone else. This girl's in Baton Rouge, but it looks a little scattered and splotchy for some reason on the screen. But she was in Baton Rouge. We did a presentation there, so I used her before and afters. But we are now the #1 premium acne treatment worldwide, or in North America at least. This is an example of another ethnicity. We have people ask me all the time. People ask me all the time, can you use this on Asian skin? Can you use this on blacks, African Americans? And I said, yes, of course. So I like to show we don't discriminate, and the products are just as effective on any skin type, any age. We have people from babies to 100 years old, men and women. There's no target market. This is an example of sun damage. So this is our second most popular regimen. It's called Redefine or Reverse for sun damage. Age spots. Has anyone in here ever been sunburned? Raise your hand if you've been sunburned before. You have had sun damage, more than likely. You get the dark spots, melasma from pregnancy. Have you heard of that? Age spots, just the little brown spots, sun spots. Dullness, altogether dullness from the sun, where you feel like your skin is just not glowing, right? That's this. So you can see the difference here. We all know someone, or we ourselves experience this with your chest looking like that. Louisiana sun. This regimen will lighten and brighten your skin. This is Trisha from Metairie. She lives in Mandeville now, but she has a hair salon in Metairie, and she did have a hair salon in Metairie. And you can see the difference in the texture and the tone of her skin from this regimen. 2 months here on this gentleman. Okay, another regimen is Soothe. So this is a patented, this regimen is a patented formulation in it with an RP3 peptide no one else has. This is for sensitive skin people. There's so many people with sensitive skin, I never knew. Eczema, rosacea, psoriasis, facial redness, any of that. The people I meet nowadays who have those issues, they feel like they can't wear anything. They can't put anything on, and most of them have never found a solution. And they'll use this and they'll say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And so this will immediately reduce the redness. And that peptide powder that I was telling you about, the powder, was actually made for people with sensitive skin. But we all use it. So this is a team member of mine in New York. She's a consultant. Her son is a little baby. So he had eczema, and the doctor wanted to prescribe steroids.
Ooh.
Because that's what they do. And she put him on our Soothe regimen, which is non-prescription. And that was the result. Then this finally is our big kahuna, what everybody's interested in. How many of you have struggled with acne in this room, besides me? A few, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Before and after.
Exactly. How many of you are aging in the show? There we go, right? So that's why this is our most popular regimen. Little baby, aging backwards. Hey, we will help you age backwards. So we will prevent the signs of aging. It's easier. And I'll tell you, it's easier to prevent the signs of aging than it is to reverse